Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Woodridge Parents Podcast, episode number 42.
Not saying it.
You got nothing?
Not really.
Okay. My name is Daniel Staleys, my beautiful and lovely wife, Kelly.
Hello.
We are the hosts of the Woodridge Parents Podcast, coming live every day. Actually, I've pretty much just been posting them on Sundays now.
I thought you had been posting them
on Sundays
yeah.
and getting the clips up. Speaking of, I got to post the clips. Shoot, I didn't post the clips from last week.
Oops.
We're busy on the weekends these days, Kelly.
We're busy every day, honey.
Oh, it's kind of terrible, to be honest.
Every day we're busy.
Every day. Had jiu-jitsu no-gi today with Professor Raymond.
Oh.
It was pretty good.
I'm sure.
But yesterday we were busy with a lot of football.
Saturdays are just football. Just football.
We had flag football in the morning at 12:30. At 12:30? 2:30?
No, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Yeah. 12:30,
Started late,
1:30,
as
2:30.
always, over there.
2 o'clock, yeah.
I'm sorry. That was bad.
All right, so most of the ladies agreed with me on this, so I'm going to go out on the limb and risk getting canceled on this, but Elmwood Park Flag has a lady coach. And pretty much as game time was supposed to start, they did this presentation where they had all the football players kneel and give the cheerleaders roses.
But it was also raining.
And it was pouring. Well, regardless of that, I'm sure it was sweet.
It's not homecoming. They're 6 years
But,
old.
well, I mean, it might have been their, I don't know, it might have been their last home game, whatever. But I don't know. I would have never thought to do anything like that for our boys.
No.
The flag coaches were certainly not doing that.
They had no idea. They were just looking over.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like, what is going
pouring
on?
rain, and they're taking their time to go down on one knee and hand each individual cheerleader a rose.
And that was after, they did their normal, running out, like how we always do. But I mean, me and all the moms, it's very cute and everything. But then you looked over and saw our cheerleaders. They're like, what's that? Are we getting that next?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they thought that was happening too. And honestly, that's not right to do. I'm sorry. Especially at that young of an age. But I think it was,
it's not necessarily Elmwood Park's responsibility to take care of the Woodridge cheerleaders.
I understand, but
when it was pouring rain and everyone wants to get out of there because it's a kindergarten and first grade flag football game, it was a bit much.
It was.
And all the cheerleaders on both sides had raincoats, windbreakers.
Yeah.
And I hear some of the parents oh, how come the boys don't have windbreakers? What are you talking about?
They can't do that.
They're on the field.
That's actually dangerous if they have hoods.
And buy the kids jackets then.
Yeah.
Do you think those jackets that the cheerleaders had were free?
Oh no, I can pretty much guarantee that their parents bought that. Obviously,
Of course they did.
Yeah, which is fine.
And that's the we're guys, dude. We're
totally different.
And again, I do custom apparel, so I'll have a little bit more of an input. But geez, we're worried about football games.
I know.
If you want the kids to have jackets, buy them jackets.
I know. I agree.
By all means, take the bull by the horns. Yeah. Make the jackets. Collect all the payments from the parents.
That's the pain.
Go for it, dude.
I agree.
Make sure it's done before the season starts because it takes a month to get the jackets.
Absolutely, and then
great. Get the jackets. If you want jackets so much and are so concerned with jackets,
I know.
Go for it.
But honestly, on the game, on games, the boys can't wear that. It's not safe.
Of course not.
If they have hoods, they can pull them.
They can wear them on the sidelines or whatever. But
at that age level, they don't really need those specific jackets.
And then they had signs with each kid's name on it. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we don't get signs.
Well,
so make signs. What do you mean?
You could do it if you want.
Do you think the coaches did that? No, maybe they have a lady coach, but we're worried about winning football games at whatever level. We're worried about making trinkets.
But don't they have? They have signs for home games. I know the high school and the cheerleaders do that for the high school boys. Those are on the things.
The high school, yes. Yeah. But they had handmade posters.
I mean, listen, that's all well and good, but they literally had to put them in plastic bags.
Yeah, because it was raining.
I know. At that point, at that point, you just don't put them out.
No.
Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of waste of time, but in that town, it's always like even the first game, they didn't start till 2:20. The first game that they were at.
Yeah, can you talk into the mic, Kelly?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
A little bit.
It's right here on my face.
Right, but then you're going to sit back, and then you're going to be like here. There you go, Kelly.
Anyway,
it's only 42 episodes. You figured out the microphone thing.
But again, every single time we go to that town, there's always a big delay. The first game, they didn't start till at least 2:20 because you guys had to leave early to make it to Danny's football game. You know, it's just I don't know. Well, it's a lot of fluff that's not needed. Basically,
I agree. It's more fluff than there is actual football.
Exactly. Yeah,
because there wasn't much football going on. Even though in the flag football, they're just bashing into each other, grabbing the flags. But I can't take flag no more, dude.
Well, you have to go anyways.
I don't have to do anything. I have prep for real football.
But anyway.
Johnny wasn't doing pretty much anything that game. He wasn't hitting nobody. He wasn't grabbing any flags.
He got one flag. I saw one flag.
Oh, great. Got one flag. Played the whole game.
I know. But
your father pumps him up a little too much and he thinks he's awesome and then he doesn't actually work hard.
I actually had a talk with Johnny last night. I go, do you think you did really good? He goes, I could have done better. I'm like, well, next time you play, do better. He goes, okay.
Yeah. Well, after that, in the rain, we traveled, Daniel and I, from Woodridge to Saddlebrook.
Then I followed them after.
I got a message in the morning that our second best player wasn't coming because he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
And then at about 1 o'clock, I got another message from one of our better linemen that they had a family issue and he wasn't coming.
Yeah.
So then we were down to 11 even going into a tough Saddlebrook team.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if like me telling the boys during practice this week that Saddlebrook was going to be a good team and we needed to work really hard, like backfired on me. Because I had about half the team crying all during the middle of the game.
Yeah. Well, I think up until now, it's been pretty easy for them, I feel. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Well, I think if we had our whole team, we could have been in the game a lot better. And we actually were. It was tied at halftime. And then they opened it up in the second half.
Yeah.
But again, we're missing our second best kid, pretty much by far. Mm-hmm. Big, strong kid. He plays the line, plays great on defense.
Yeah.
And then another big lineman. So we were down to 11 people only.
Yeah.
We had one kid basically have a panic attack and had to come out of the game. Oh. And then we were down to 10 and we played 10 on 10. They were nice. Saddlebrook was nice for it.
Yeah.
But then like the kid came back in the game and then we had kids go back out of the game. So at many points in the game, we were just playing 11 on 10.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, we're not doing this going back and forth the whole time.
Yeah.
Just play the game. Let's get this over with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mateo still did great.
Yeah.
Mateo was a little upset too because, you know, he had a fumble and he didn't score on every touchdown.
Yeah.
On every play he ran. But again, he's a phenomenal athlete. One of the best athletes I've seen in the league so far.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. By far.
And, you know, he was taking a beating too because we're down linemen.
Yeah.
You know, the kids we had to put in were, we had little kids who were like running backs had to play the line. That's not their position.
Yeah.
And then we had the kind of second stringers who weren't up to the task. Mm-hmm. I had a kid who I put in on defense on the line.
Yeah.
And all I asked him to do was just get up and run into the lineman.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about tackling nobody. You don't got to worry about it. Just go, just try to stand there as long as possible. Mm-hmm. And I see him, they snap the ball.
Yeah.
He gets up, sprints in the opposite direction, running away from the lineman, and then just like kind of turns around and tries to see like, and I'm like, what is happening?
I know. I mean, you telling them that the team was really good, it could have went one of two ways, and I think it went the opposite way.
It's certainly went the opposite way.
Because,
but again, being short, our guys, you know, the kids know that those kids are really good too. So.
And they have a lot of extra people too. They had like
Saddlebrook had 18 people, 18 kids.
And that was a lot of fresh legs.
We had
fresh,
11.
Yeah, that's
which really was like 10.
Yeah.
And then kids were getting hurt all during the game, subbing in, subbing out. And I just first half we went in 14-14.
I was like, oh, okay, pretty good, and then just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, and then it all kind of went downhill after that.
Well, I mean, do you think it maybe was a wake up call that they because again, like a lot of the teams, they were just buzzing by.
I don't know. I mean,
because a lot of kids were upset after the game.
Saddlebrook was very good, and they were tough.
Yeah,
they had big kids, but they weren't like unbelievable.
No, I know.
They
I
weren't
agree.
6 foot tall. Like Lorenzo was still the biggest kid on the field.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Mateo scored some touchdowns that were great.
Yeah,
but this is actually going to end up going into a topic that we discuss later. But it's in crunch time when actually things were difficult and you have to bear down and really focus and do the things we're supposed to do. Half the kids basically just quit.
Now, do you?
And I'm not talking smack on 7-year-olds, because I had this conversation with one of the parents afterwards, and he actually came up to me. He was like, "What do I got to get to do for my kid to stop being scared of hitting?" Now his kid's also one of the smallest kids on the team. I said, "Well, there were a lot of factors in this game that really didn't go the other way."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I get it." He was like, "I have to remember that they're only 7." And I said, yes, but, and I say this in judo all the time about Daniel, like the other kids are 7 too.
Yeah.
So like, you can only use the age thing for so much. Some kids mature and get an edge at different times.
I understand what you're saying.
But they're all the same age.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Now, I know there are you can only put certain kids on the line. You can only put certain kids in the backfield. Are you able to switch up the positions at all or not really? So they have more experience. If it happens again next time, like they have more experience in different positions. Like, is that a thing or no?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, if you make weight, you could play in the backfield. But the problem is some of the kids are so little, they can't play the line.
That's what I was. Okay. So if they have to get pushed into the line, they don't really have any experience. They don't really have any experience doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't have any experience doing it.
Well, it's not experience. They're just too little.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the one kid who missed yesterday because he was sick, he plays the line and he's big and strong, but he's also pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we had plans of putting him in the backfield too.
So he can go either line or backfield. Sure. So like as long as you make weight, you can go back and forth.
Of course.
So okay, yes.
But the problem is, and the problem, I wanted Daniel to be a fullback, but we barely have enough kids for a line in the first place. So we're not putting a kid who's 4'6" on the line. 4'6", 90, or not even that, 45 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, God bless little Rocco. Like, we're not calling kids out, like, because Rocco is actually pretty tough. He's a wrestler. He's tough, but he weighs 45 pounds, and he's up to my kneecap.
Yeah.
And he plays hard, dude. Like
he's tough.
He's tough to look at. Yeah. If he was bigger, I'd put him on the line too.
Yeah.
But you just can't do it. Somebody like put him against Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Lorenzo's 5'6", 97 pounds. He's 4'6", 45 pounds.
Now just not,
It's the same thing in judo and wrestling. You can't, you're not wrrestling a kid who's that much bigger than you.
Absolutely.
Even if you're so much stronger, like it's, there's that middle ground, like kids like Mateo and kids like Tenzin, who are like 70 pounds and shorter than like Lorenzo, but they're strong and they go hard.
They can push through. Yeah.
You can't put a kid who's 4'8" and 40 pounds on the line. It's just not going to work.
No matter how hard they try and push.
Right.
It's at that age too, there's really no.
Right.
Yeah.
It's toughness, and those kids have the toughness, but it's just physics at some point.
I know. And I know it can be frustrating, obviously, for you and for the kids too. They physically can't get any bigger. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like they can't grow. You know what I mean? Like it takes a while.
The kind of sad-ish part was a lot of them were just scared.
I know. A lot of them were upset after the game too. Which at least shows. And listen, I
didn't even like make a big stink about it after the game. Like I wanted to just get out of there at that point.
Yeah.
But that was fairly upsetting. Like if the kids tried hard
It's even
and
worse
we're in it,
sometimes.
and
Yeah.
we lost, fine.
Yeah.
But for the kids to be like, I don't want to go in, I don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
that's what football is.
I don't know what to tell you, bud.
I know.
It's a shame because there's some kids who I had high hope for, and after that game, like I doubt they even play next year.
Really? Well, next year's going to be the big telltale because you have 2 grades, but like maybe too, like like you'll have your they'll go up to 3rd grade, and you have 4th graders where they'll have older kids to look up to because now they're just all together. This is their first experience in pads. You know what I mean? Like they don't have any experienced players that have done it before. Where next year, I mean, again, like I don't know, but I'm just like kind of thinking as like a teacher too. Like next year, like you'll have a group of guys that already did 2 years of pads. They're older, where like they can give a little bit more leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I mean, again, I think I know they were upset and everything, but sometimes you need that to kind of get to the next level. You know what I mean? So, I mean, when I talked to Daniel, I was like, Dan, it was kind of hard to kind of see everything going on, but he was like, yeah, Mom, I did some good hits. I really tried my best. Like Daddy said I did like okay and everything. I'm like, well, but what are you going to do?
He didn't really listen like he was supposed to, but that is what it is.
Yeah. But again, like, it's hard going from no pads to pads. But again, like you have to just keep on trying, keep on doing what you need to do. We're halfway
through the season at this point, so it's.
But up until now, though, they've had easy games. This is their first hard game, and you want to know what? They needed a hard game to kind of see what they were made of.
Next week's Hasbro Kites, and Hasbro Kites can be hard too.
Exactly.
So
and I mean, they like the first couple games they were killing everybody. Mm-hmm. I think they kind of got overconfident too. Yeah. They need to have a tough game to actually be like, oh wait, I actually have to try harder. Yeah. And then maybe, like this week of
missing
practice.
Those kids that we were missing
that too,
was
yeah.
a big problem.
Absolutely. But again, them having a hard game, if they didn't care, they wouldn't be upset. You know what I mean? I see that too.
Yes,
a little bit.
No.
Okay.
I think Mateo was upset that the game went bad.
Yes, I saw him.
Some of the kids were upset because they were scared.
Even after the game? I'm talking about after the game, dude. Really? Okay, no, I didn't get that, but okay. So,
onto the high school. High school also had their first loss on Friday night against Pagoda.
Wasn't a good week for Woodridge football.
No, apparently not. Now, I was kind of worried about this game coming up because they had won the division the week before against Park Ridge in a close game where they came back in the second half as well. Mm-hmm. And, Pagoda was a good team. And I was like, this is a trap game. They're gonna be overlooking them. They get the playoffs next week. Like, this could be a trap game, and it was. And Pagoda played well. They spread the ball out. They passed a lot. They were fast. They were good. But a lot of the issues that Woodridge has had in the beginning of the games kind of caught up to them, and they weren't able to come back, which they did end up coming back in the second half, which they usually do.
But not enough.
But they had an interception that the kid returned for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And then they had a kickoff that the kid returned for a touchdown.
Okay.
So it was like 29-6 at halftime.
Ooh, okay.
They ended up losing 29-18.
Okay.
And they were driving, and they played well in the second half, but it was just those errors that they had been having previously that really caught up to them.
Yeah.
So that part was a bit unfortunate.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. So now this kind of does push us into our next topic, which I have labeled praising effort or outcome.
See, I told you would tie in.
See, there you go. Shoe tie.
I know. Shoe tie.
And especially with the younger kids, we give a lot of these kids praises just for being out there and quote unquote working hard.
Yes.
But at what point and what age do you stop just giving them praise just for being out there and go to giving them praise for a desired outcome?
I personally think I don't have a certain age in mind. I don't have a specific age. I mean, it does range between 5 to 8. Okay. But my thing is that when you can talk to a child and they can reason back with you why they either did good or they did poorly is when I think they should be held accountable, if that makes sense to you.
Right.
So they usually say 7 is the age of reason, basically, which is like, first grade, going into second grade or whatever. But I also think it's how serious that the parent takes it. You know what I mean? Like for example, for us, we have our boys in multiple areas of sports. Also, for academics. Okay. So like the parent knows their child best. So like, for example, for like Danny and Johnny, like when, for academics, like if Danny does poorly on a test, I know he should be doing better because he is a smart boy.
Right.
And
if he doesn't get 100, I get pissed.
I know. And he knows also how smart he is. So whenever he gets something wrong, I'm like, Danny, what happened here? He's like, oh, well, it was kind of hard. I go, no, it wasn't hard. Were you just not paying attention? He was like, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. So like, for them to realize that they did something wrong, that's where I feel that that would be the age where you can hold him accountable. For example, in judo, when he has a competition, some competitions he is amazing in, some competitions he gives up, which we have seen before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for judo, it's more of like an individual sport where sometimes you'll have really, really good kids going against the child, and sometimes you'll have someone mediocre. If he loses to a very, very good kid like Alex, who's number 2 in the country, that's one thing.
He's number 1 now.
Okay, thank you. Number 1 in the country. That's one thing. Good job, Alex. But if he loses to someone that is on his level or a little bit above, and we've seen him do amazing things against his child before and still loses or is being lazy, yeah, that's not okay. And you have to call him out on that. Because if you don't, you're doing disservice to the child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they have to understand what type of level they're held to. You know what I mean? Like, because if you don't, then they'll just be mediocre their entire life and try to just skate by on what they're like what they can get away with.
Yeah.
Even with John, we've raised him where he knows the level he needs to be at. He's only 5. He's still a baby. He's still young. And he kind of sees a little bit more because of Daniel too. Like when the younger sibling sees the older sibling do something, they kind of want to raise their standard up to the older sibling.
Right.
And when he's at a competition, like even at the last competition that he was at for like judo in the Kamals, I saw him trying to hook the leg. I saw him really trying to do things. He at certain things he couldn't he couldn't get it done, but I saw him trying to apply what he learned to get the job done. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You being in competition know the same thing. Me being in competitions, the same thing. Sometimes it just doesn't work, But after the match, John, what did you do wrong? And if he can explain to us what he did wrong, okay, John, how could you fix it to make it better? If he can explain what he needs to do next time, he gets it. He understands. So there's really no excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially for football too. Yesterday when I was talking to him, I was like, John, why were you always going towards the back of like the line? I don't think you were there at that point. I think you already left. I was like, why were you running? Like you pushed the boy down and then you ran towards the back. I'll go, why were you doing that? He was like, well, Mom, I was trying to guard. He actually said the words guard. He goes, I was trying to guard to the back to make sure that no one ran through for a touchdown. I go, okay, but you guard the back, but you didn't get any flags. He goes, I know. I just couldn't. I couldn't hold on. I couldn't grab the flag. I was like, okay, but what are you gonna do next time? He goes, I'm gonna run harder and try to grab the flag more. So again, like he knows what he has to do. He acknowledged that he did something wrong. And hopefully next time he'll apply it to do something better. That is where, like, if the child understands what they did wrong and will say, okay, well, because of this, you know, it's like a cause and effect. Because I did this, I have to do this next time.
Yeah.
If that child can understand that, then you can have a conversation with him where you're not praising him, but you are correcting and you know, like making them do it correctly the next time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I think like the difference between praising them for just like getting out on the field, like congratulations, you're on the field. You could just stand there and do nothing. But if the child understands what he did wrong with and then how to fix it the following time, the following time it happens, I think at that point you can hold the child accountable and see what happens in the future. What do you think?
I agree. Speaking of holding children accountable, how is the new chores plan working out so far?
I actually think it's working out really good.
Yeah.
Do you think so too? They're very.
You're more in charge of that.
I am more in charge of it. I mean, they're very conscious of how many points they're getting. Xbox is no longer on the table after school, and I'm really, really happy that when I come home from school, I see them reading or, you know, like they can watch TV, obviously. But I think that not having Xbox after school, after their homework, is, I'm going to say this loosely, calming them down a little bit where they're not, you know what I mean? Like they're not like so rowdy because like right now they're playing
Xbox right now.
Yeah, and they're maniacs. But again, like they're allowed to be like that too sometimes. I mean, like they're little boys. You know what I mean? But, you know, and I think now they appreciate it more when they are able to play it also. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They do appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And even like with their tablets, like, you know, again, like the tablet I don't even allow during the week anymore because...
Well, the tablet's just another gaming device.
Exactly, yeah.
They're just playing Roblox on both of them.
Exactly. And I was like, yeah, guys, you're not doing that. Oh, okay, Mom. You know, and, you know, and that's fine. But I feel that if they're able to get all their homework done nicely, they can have their rooms neat. You know, they can do other little things around the house. Like they're like, you know, like now they're always putting their dishes in the sink. They're cleaning them off. They're able to get what they're becoming more independent, you know? And I feel like instead of giving them like an allowance that's just going to go into their piggy banks for right now, they can use their little points to get time on their Xbox that they really like, you know? And they only are allowed to play it on Saturday, well, barely on Saturdays because they're not even home that much, you know? So it's really only today, if you really think about it, that they're able to play a little bit. And I think they have been behaving better. I think that they're more focused in the more, I mean, they never played before school, obviously. I would never allow that. But I feel that they're a little bit more focused and they get things done a little bit quicker. So as of right now, I think it's going pretty good. How about you? Like, what do you say?
No, I agree. We were supposed to take some time away from Johnny last week because he wasn't good at judo, but we're not actually keeping track of the actual gameplay time. Which I'm pretty sure we can do that directly in the Xbox, but I don't feel like doing that.
But again, like they're not playing all day Saturday, all day Sunday either. You know, like Saturday is just football. I mean, and judo, yeah. So I mean, like they can have a little bit of downtime, like on Saturday night and you know, like Sunday. You know, and that's
let them play last night
for a little. I mean, it wasn't even like a half an hour.
Yes, it was.
We got home. Well, we got home. I gave them showers and everything. Then you came home maybe 15 minutes after.
They played like an hour.
Oh, wait. They played after dinner for a little bit. I forgot about that. No, I forgot about that. I did. But do you want to know what? I mean, like,
no, they were good.
But like, they were appreciative too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we can play. Okay, great. You know, like, so I do like the way it's going. And as they get older, I mean, I just want them to be more independent, which again, I know they're 7 and 5, but that starts now. Like even in the morning, like they have to get their backpack all set. The other day, when Danny was in the shower, John goes, "Mommy, don't worry, I'll get Danny's stuff all packed up." So he packed up his backpack and Daniel's backpack. Mm-hmm. But they're also like kind of like helping each other out now too, which is, I mean, they were always helping each other out, but it's just more like they're going for like a common goal because they like playing together. They don't like Danny can play. He doesn't really care if Johnny plays with him or not, but Johnny loves playing with Danny.
Yeah,
you know, and like they like they like playing together. So any little thing that they can do to kind of like help them play a little bit more, they do for each other. And that's also building some teamwork there. So I don't know. I think it's going pretty good so far.
Good. You had your ladies self-defense class the other night.
Yes.
How did that go?
It was good. I was so tired because that morning I also went to the morning class. Mm-hmm. They had a great showing. About 25 ladies were there, which is wonderful.
That's good.
I helped out. I took the class, yes, but like I was kind of helping people kind of do certain moves a little bit.
You were the magician's assistant?
Well, we actually had a couple people there that were helping out, which was great. You have a more like individualized experience. But it was really, really good. I hope the ladies took a lot away from it. I know Buddy wants to do another one pretty soon, and I think it would be it's very, very beneficial for girls.
Of course.
For women. It wasn't all about teaching them jujitsu. It wasn't all about trying to get them in the door at Subforce or anything. It was literally for their safety, what to do, and guard yourself and literally just run away. You know what I mean? Because no one's going to be trying to fight.
What are some of the things that you actually went over?
Break falls, especially if someone's pushing you down, how to land safely, somewhat safe, not to hit your head. If someone has you in very intimate positions, if someone's like on top of you, holding your hands up, which it can be very, intimidating. What to do. Oh my God, what is that thing called? To bridge. Like a hard bridge, get them off balance, get one of their arms and just try to, somewhat roll over and get away, But, Buddy being a cop knows, a lot of ways to help girls, stay safe and also to avoid unsafe situations. Yeah. If you see something happening, don't think you're invisible and invincible.
Invincible?
Why can't I say that word? Invincible and think you're going to be okay in like a big...
Invincible.
You're tapping like I teach in school.
Right.
Yes. Just don't put yourself in that situation. Sometimes situations are unavoidable. Yeah. But, like if you're walking... If I'm with my two sons and, Dan's not there, what are some safe ways to avoid the situation or get out of the situation and get your kids away safely? Yeah. At that point, you're not trying to be a, Mr. Big Tough Guy or Miss Big Tough Girl or whatever. Like you're not trying to prove anything. Just, safely get away, avoid the situation and just get your kids out of there. And unfortunately, like a lot of young women who have young children and sometimes predators see that as fair game, unfortunately. And you always have to be aware of your surroundings. I know that whenever, I know this is kind of like a running joke between you and me, but it's true though. Like whenever I'm with him, it's like a walk in the park, especially like when it's just you and me. And, in Atlantic City or anywhere, and the kids aren't like, are with my parents. I'm like walking around like it's like, we're in like a little park. I have not a care in the world. This one's looking around different places, kind of like, his head is on like a revolver.
Swivel.
Thank you. Making sure everything's okay. Especially when we go out to restaurants, he has to have his back against the wall, and just to kind of like see what's going on. And here I am, again with him. Not a care in the world, it's party time. But when I'm with the kids, it's like, I can't even say the word because that's what I look like. I look very, very mean when I go out with the kids because I don't trust anyone, And even if we're like walking around the grocery store or ShopRite, sometimes I just put John in the cart, just have him his little buns in there. And Danny is right next to me. But Danny also thinks
it's probably hard for Johnny to squeeze his buns in there now.
Oh, no, he's fine. He likes to lay back and relax. Jeez. But no, not like in the front part, actually the big part of the car. That he's going to know. Yeah. But but here's the thing though. Danny thinks he's a Mr. Tough Guy. Where I'm like, Daniel, just stay next to me. You're not gonna
protect you, mommy.
But that's the thing. Like, can we wait for like another couple years when you guys are like 6'5"? Then that's fine with me. you know, but again, he has to remember too, he's only 7. What can he do? What can he do against a full grown man if God forbid they ever try to come after us?
Punch him in the nuts.
Well, yeah, that I know, but again, I'm not even. This isn't even like a joking matter. You know what I mean? It's very serious. But like, I always say to the boys, I'm like, listen, when Daddy's not here, if Mommy tells you to do something very quickly, do not question me. Just follow me and hold my hand. I might have to drag you a little bit to get us out of a bad situation. Like we talk about this all the time, especially when you're at work or we have to go to like, you know, certain places, and even still like. Going to like the malls and stuff like that. If we ever go to American Dream, I will never just bring the boys, just me and the 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Just because again, like you never know what could happen. Like I always bring my mom, and again, like she's even worse than me. Like she's, you know,
what's she gonna do?
It's just not that she can do anything, but it's just another adult there. Where if I say grab his hand and don't let go, their hands are like will literally fall off before she lets go of their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like, my God, and if my dad's there, police Billis gets into motion and is like, you only want to go there. But again, like that's the type of situation that I say, don't put yourself out there if you're not comfortable walking around with just your kids. If you're not comfortable going there with just the 2 of you, you bring someone else with you. Yeah. A situation that you can avoid, you know? But that was my spiel on that.
All right, Kelly.
But, yeah.
Well, that's pretty much what we got for this week. We are going to have some guests lined up to come on remotely on the podcast. Some Woodridge parents. If anyone is interested in coming on the podcast, talking about anything town related or parenting related, by all means, email us wrparentspod@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But we will be doing some guests. We'll have them remotely in, so you don't have to come over to our studio / basement.
Slash classroom.
Yeah. / office / clothing production center. All right, Kelly. Well, I love you.
I love you too.
And we love you too. Peace.
Bye.